Today I wanted to do a video on labels and how labeling things or experiences that happen to you can stunt your growth. Here's what I mean. As humans, we label things as good or bad, right? Well, what if everything that happens to you is actually good? Even the experiences that causes some suffering. If you look at life from the lens that you are here to evolve your soul, every experience that you go through is for your highest good. Some experiences might be painful, but that doesn't mean that there's not good that comes out of it. Let me give you an extreme example of what I mean. Around 5 years ago, I was in the market to buy a new place. I decided to go with a pre-sale, and it was between two condos. The one condo, the one that my heart really wanted, had all the amenities. It was like a resort. And the other condo had bare minimum amenities. And my heart wasn't really invested in that one for some reason. Instead of listening to what my heart wanted, I went to a family member and asked their opinion on which one I should buy. They gave me very loving advice and suggested that I go with the one that has the least amount of amenities, because then the strata fees won't be as high later down the road. I ended up buying the one that my heart wasn't really invested in. 2 months after I purchased this pre-sale, and only a couple months until I was supposed to move in, it was almost completely built, it burnt down to the entire ground. The whole complex burnt down. It was a massive fire. Now, that is a pretty crappy thing to have happen to you, right? But I also learned a very valuable lesson, actually two very valuable lessons. One of the lessons that I learned was around my intuition. The advice that my family member gave me was very loving advice, and they weren't wrong. The condo that has all the amenities in the long run would cost me more money because it's gonna require more upkeep, which costs more money to do. But it's my life. And what I need in my life is different from what they need, right? And so from that experience, although it cost me a lot of money, we're talking over 100 grand easy for not listening to my intuition. So although it cost me a lot of money for this lesson, I learned it. And now, every time that I have those intuitive hits, I listen. And so there's good that comes out of everything, because everything is just lessons and experiences. Life really is a classroom. And when you learn the lesson that life is here to teach you, you'll move on to the next lesson. And you might even get tested a couple times. They might throw in a couple of tests just to make sure that you really embodied the learning material. Another example could be in relationships. You might be with a partner that doesn't treat you very well. And from that experience of being with a partner that doesn't treat you very well, you learn how to speak your truth. You learn how to stand up for yourself. The next person that you're with, after you learn these lessons and you find yourself somebody that really treats you well, you're gonna really appreciate them. See, every experience has positives. Every single one. I hope these examples illustrate just how labeling situations as good or bad can hinder your growth. See, if I just looked at the condo fire example as a bad situation, I would have missed the opportunity to learn the lesson about intuition, following my own intuition, my own heart's compass, right? And could you imagine how expensive the next lesson would have been? Like, oh my gosh, That would have been crazy, right? I could have just disregarded any lessons from that experience and considered it a bad experience, labeled it as bad. But by removing the label of that experience, although I suffered, I was able to extract the wisdom from it, which was learning to follow my gut. If my heart says yes, then do it. If it says no, don't do it. Because of that lesson, now I always listen to my intuition, even if it doesn't make sense. Actually, most of the time it doesn't make sense, because following your intuition is not a logical process. Going back to my example with regards to a partner that doesn't treat you well, I have been in that situation before, and it doesn't feel good. It sucks, it's painful, it's heartbreaking. But instead of labeling that experience as bad, I extract the wisdom from it. Although it was painful, it's still just an experience, and there's lessons to learn from it. So by extracting the wisdom from it, I won't repeat the same patterns. You get what I'm saying? See, the thing is if you don't learn the lesson, the next person that enters your life is going to be the next teacher, and it's going to keep repeating with a different face until you learn the lesson. And when you learn the lesson, then you'll move on to your next lesson. That's how it works. Thank you for your likes, shares, and subscribes, and I look forward to making the next video for you. Have a blessed day.